How's it going, everybody? I'm Brooks,
I'm Joe.
and this is another episode of Cantina Reviews Barside Chats.
Today, we are back, and we are talking about Venom.
The movie.
The movie Venom.
The movie Venom.
There's been a few trailers now. A new one just dropped like the other day or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's getting a lot of hype on the interwebs.
Yes. All of the hype beast and their Adidas are talking about it.
Yeah, everyone's talking about Venom. Everyone's very excited. Another Sony thing.
Yeah, now...
In association with Marvel, but
why
is
can't
a Sony.
it just be Marvel? Why can't you just do it?
Well, I mean, it was a big deal to get Spider-Man over to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they also got Vulture.
Yeah.
And supposedly the next Spider-Man, Mysterio.
I'm sure Misto from like Rita's Water Ice.
No.
Misto from.
But anyway, they're gonna have him, another Sinister Six guy, Mysterio.
I mean, clearly they're doing this.
So like they can get them.
Yeah.
But now, so like we're gonna have Venom. And real quick before we talk about the Venom trailer, what we thought, they also are announcing a Kraven the Hunter movie.
Mm-hmm.
Another like big time Spider-Man, Sinister Six kind of guy. I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, obviously we haven't seen Venom, but I don't know about this idea of doing a bunch of solo Spider-Man villain movies.
Yeah, why don't we do like other villains?
Right.
In the
or
MCU?
like this. Will this trend at all? Like, there's gonna be a Joker movie.
Mm.
Like, I don't know why like we want just villain.
But it's gonna be crappy Jared Leto.
No, it's a different Joker.
How many of these could we possibly have?
Well, there's supposedly Leto is still around.
Great.
I doubt it'll actually happen. But they want Martin Scorsese is doing a Joker movie.
Jared Leto just weirds me out. Something about him.
It was not a good Joker.
No, it's just like a terrible... It's like a spoiled teenager that... It's like if Justin Bieber had way more money and did whatever he actually wanted, that's what you would get as the Joker from that movie.
I feel like Suicide Squad, the way they did it, is a movie that should have come out in like 2008.
Yeah.
Like the emo Hot Topic phase of everyone's lives. Like, it would have been so big.
Oh yeah, people would have loved it. It would have been the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah. But yeah, his Joker.
It was terrible.
I'm gonna hurt ya.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, you know what's hurting me? Watching you.
Yeah.
I feel like I wanted this to be an actual MCU movie.
Venom?
I
hope it is.
It'd be cool to bring in all these villains and then the Avengers have to defeat all of the villains.
Right, well, yeah, maybe we slowly and painfully set up all the Sinister Six and then throw them in a movie.
Yeah, which would be okay.
Venom, I don't think this is rated R. I think it's PG-13, so, like...
It looks kind of intense, though.
It looks pretty intense.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, is it R? But, like, from what I've heard, it's not.
But, like, how are you going to bring in the kid that plays Spider-Man in MCU into this movie?
Right.
And not have him be Spider-Man?
Right.
Like...
Well, yeah, supposedly Tom Holland shows up.
Yeah. But, like, why can't...
But, like, what's weird about doing it this way, and obviously they're just trying to use what properties they can, but, like, I mean, Venom is a character that, like, is derived from Spider-Man and hating Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Much like Kraven the Hunter is a character that hunts Spider-Man. Like,
yeah.
They're
all geared towards Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man villains in particular are always, not always, but for the most part, have some sort of connection to Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. That's what makes it interesting. Right. And they did it with the Vulture in this iteration of Homecoming by having him be his girlfriend's dad. Like, they always find a way, and then obviously, you know, the older Spider-Man movies, Green Goblin was, you know, Harry Osborn is his best friend's father. There's always some kind of connection. Yeah, exactly. And to not have it, to have Venom and no Spider-Man, is weird. I'm excited for it because it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, they really want to go with this anti-hero stuff, I think. Mm-hmm. Like, what would really suck is if Venom became a hero in the end somehow. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah, like if they go a little bit too over the edge.
Because, like, this guy that he, like, infects, like, clearly in the trailers, like, he doesn't want it. And he's like, I'm sorry, like, while he's killing people.
Yeah, which is different.
Yeah, so what if he just overcomes this and is now a hero with these abilities? Like, that would be so terrible.
Well, I was watching Jeremy Johns. Mm-hmm. He was talking about it, and that shot where
Jimmy Johns,
where he goes, "Who are you?" And like it kind of half the face comes off, and you see what's his name, and he's like, "We are Venom," and then he eats him. He's like, I really hope that's not the last shot of the movie, but Sony in the past has shown the last shots of Spider-Man movies, so it very well could be. Like by the end of the movie, he's been able to control it. That's at least somewhat.
Yeah.
It looks interesting. I don't really know.
Like,
I don't
looks
fully
interesting.
know what to expect.
I think it looks good. It's just, for some reason, I have such like a, I don't know, like, how can they do this? Is what I'm saying.
Why?
Like you now have MCU with Spider-Man. You've already put the Vulture in it.
Yeah.
But how can you say it doesn't really connect to MCU? Like,
it may be. I wonder if it's more like Disney's doing. Like, if this does well, they'll let it connect. Yeah. If it doesn't do well, they won't.
But this is Sony, right? Like Sony's producing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Sony had all the Spider-Man rights.
Right, yeah.
And that's why it took so long to get Spider-Man in the MCU.
So did they sell Spider-Man and not the villains?
No, they came to some agreement.
Oh.
They still own Spider-Man.
You guys can make movies.
That's how they were able to come out with that game for the PS4.
Oh yeah, which looks very good.
Yeah, which looks great. They still own Spider-Man, but they came to an agreement. I guess they got the Vulture, whatever.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah, it's so like odd to me that like it doesn't directly correlate.
Yes.
Like with the new Spider-Man coming out and people loving it, and then like another Spider-Man in the pipeline, like and that we can't wait for, and like we love this character, and then you're gonna have like a Spider-Man in another movie happening in the same real world time period.
Right.
Like, but it doesn't connect.
I saw like a really.
But then he's seen on set. And it's like,
What I saw on Twitter, it was just like retweeted a whole bunch of times. I forget who it was, but their idea was like instead of doing exactly this, which is just having all these Spider-Man villains but no Spider-Man necessarily.
Right.
Sony could do. There's that line of comics, the 2099. So it's like Spider-Man 2099. It's just like in the future. They were like, just do Spider-Man 2099. And do the 2099 versions of those villains.
Okay.
Because the MCU isn't going to get to that point.
Yeah.
So like they could have their own Spider-Man.
Right.
And then still
allow say it's in the future.
Right, and still allow the MCU to
what if
use
that's
Spider-Man?
what it was? There's some kind of flashback or something like that, like Tom Holland.
I think that would be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
It's done well.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. If they do that and it's done well, then I'll bite. You know?
But that was just someone giving an idea that they probably won't do.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that we really talked about the trailer a lot.
Yeah, we didn't. Let's talk about the trailer.
Yeah, let's do that.
Some back and forth online about Venom's dialogue. They are pulling lines straight from the comic books.
This was just a bunch of comic book lines. Like that's all it is. There's no real conversation.
When he's like, so many snacks, like eyes, pancreas, and like that's like a direct line, and it's like
it worked in the 70s.
Right? Yeah, it's like
right now I'm just gonna
just because something comes straight from the source doesn't make it good.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little goofy, but also at the same time, like, I don't mind if they're gonna make Venom kind of goofy. Like that's okay. Like it could be scary and kind of goofy. Like because he also has that the other line in the trailer is like I'm gonna eat you, and then I'm gonna eat off your arms or whatever, and then he's like you'll fly like a turd in the wind. Like, is that really what he said? And
is that
really,
like
that's
if
really
a bird takes a shit?
Yeah.
Is that what that means? I don't know.
So he's got some like goofy kind of lines, but I mean it is comic books.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it looks like a serious movie.
It
looks like
there's like a bit of a
high def, high def intense. Like there's like people like getting infected and then they're just dying. Like,
right. Yeah. It looks like there's a lot of death and destruction, but also Venom's gonna be
a comedian.
Yeah.
What really threw me off was when in the newest trailer you finally see the full body of Venom.
Yeah. Like
from feet to head to foot, head to toe. That's what I meant. It took me 4 tries.
Foot to head.
Foot to head. It looks doofy. Like if they went like ankle up, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But his feet look abnormally large, which I get it. Like he's not a real thing in the real world, but like his feet just look way too big for his body. I mean, it's just kind of dumb.
It is like it's quite the effect to be doing a lot of.
Yeah.
Because it's all CG, right? Like
I think, but it looks good.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I think the face and like the look of it is really cool.
Yeah.
And unsettling.
Well, yeah, like how
the way when he talks in like his whole mouth like closes over the teeth. Like
yeah,
it looks off, and it's like it should be because it's like an alien.
Yeah.
Weird
well, I like how they
and,
did
like,
the white, like there's like white veins. It's not like a white like
yeah,
thing
yeah.
like emblem on it.
Well, yeah, because going back to like Spider-Man 3, it looked. I mean, obviously, like at the time, effects were different. They went more for like I think for the most part like what's his name, Eric Foreman was wearing just like a black suit, and then they would CG what they needed to.
Yeah.
Where this like looks more true to like what the character becomes.
Yeah, like it just engulfs him.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what he's wearing.
Which is pretty interesting.
Yeah. No, I mean I think it's gonna be a great movie, but I feel like this is one of those things like this is gonna be a running joke for generations to come.
What?
Like just constant Spider-Man movies.
Like
Like constant Spider-Man movies. Now we're getting all the Spider-Man villains. It's like,
Right.
when is it gonna
What's
end?
next?
Sony,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
Just stop. Like,
Are they just gonna do, like Venom, Kraven, Dr. Octopus, the
Yeah.
movie, like
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, when will they
the
stop?
best part. I mean, like Spider-Man has some of the best villains
They do.
for me because like I just always like again it's like it's because of the dynamic. It's not because of the villain themselves. It's because of the dynamic and like the stakes always feel so high because the connection with the Spider-Man
Right.
is there. It's not just some bad guy.
Yeah, and he's just out to rule the world.
Right.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean,
Green Goblin the movie.
yeah. Like,
Who wants that?
yeah. Like, if Movie Pass was still going to be around next week, it would be fun. I'd go
Yeah.
see every movie. But that's the thing is like, there's going to be 80 movies about these villains, and I'm just going to wait for them to go on like USA.
And that's
whatever else.
DC seems to, you know, they're not totally abandoning their universe because we have Aquaman, we have Shazam coming out.
Great.
But they are going into these. They're going to do a separate Joker movie. That's just a separate. It's not in the universe. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it like. I'm trying to think like I mean Star Wars did start it all, but I feel like it really picked up with like Lord of the Rings, Batman, like stuff like that, like in like the late 90s, early 2000s, where like these cinematic universes became a thing.
Right. Like,
And now when you start adding in a ton of different movies and different time periods and different actors, different villains, different stuff, like the whole cinematic universe gets like screwed up.
well, it's like it just makes it hard to follow.
Exactly.
Like if
It's
DC is
like
going to do all these
80
movies, like your average person, probably just any real person that isn't like looking online.
Yeah.
Like at the answers, like a Joker movie comes out and they already are like 5 movies into the EU. You're gonna you're gonna assume that it's part of it, but then apparently it's not. So
Yeah,
people have some cool theories that like I don't know if it happened in the comics or not, but like multiple Jokers. There's like a 3 Joker theory. They can make a tie-in, but I think they're just trying to see what'll work at this point.
Yeah, well, I think they're supposed to start exploring the. I know the cartoons at least are exploring like the multiple Spider-Man universe.
Well, yeah, the
things.
Spider-Verse thing is another interesting aspect of it. Like they're coming out with that animated movie,
Yeah.
the Into the Spider-Verse, which has like a shit ton of Spider-Man
Yeah.
iterations in it.
Well, I wonder if they're gonna do this Venom thing where there's like, what is it? It's like Venom, Poison, and then what's the other one? Mayhem.
There's
like
Carnage,
red, black, and yellow. Or yeah, Carnage.
Carnage. Well, yeah, and this one has Riot. So the other thing that the other symbiote or whatever that they showed in this trailer is Riot. But all the theories were, all the rumors wherever they came from, was that Carnage was in this movie and it was going to be Woody Harrelson, which would be cool. But there's been no sign of that yet.
Right.
So maybe they do Riot and then Carnage in another one, or
Well, that's
everyone
what,
wants Carnage.
yeah, I was gonna say, aren't there like a trillion of these too?
There's like a bunch.
Yeah, oh yeah, Venom, Carnage. It's just the both of them.
Yeah.
What is the deal with them? Like, how are they made? I don't understand.
I'm pretty sure Venom originally was like, it just like was formed after Spider-Man had it. Because it's like a parasite type thing.
So he like
I
got
think
sick
the way
one
they
day
did it in
and-
Spider-Man 3 was like somewhat similar
Mhm.
to how it originally. And like the thing about the thing about Eddie Brock not wanting it in this trailer.
Mhm.
I think usually as far as Venom goes, like in Spider-Man 3, even though it was Eric Foreman, it wasn't very convincing.
Mhm.
Eddie Brock is like a cocky kind of guy, so like when he has the power,
Yeah.
he wants it because now he has a way of
Yeah,
getting
but now he
back at
don't.
Spider-Man. This movie seems like it's a little more unwilling.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Anti-Venom is the white one. There's a ton of these, too.
Yeah. Well, now they could just do this whole Venom universe.
Venom, Carnage, Toxin, Anti-Venom. Which one's the yellow one? Is that Toxin? I don't know. We're digressing. Anyway. Oh my god, there's literally a ton of them.
Yeah.
Venom, Carnage, Toxin, Anti-Venom, Scream, Riot, Phage, Agony, Lasher. What's the other one? Hybrid.
God.
What are we doing?
They're just gonna make like...
Oh, Scream is a female one. I am gonna kill myself. Not really, but...
So if they can't... If the MCU says, nah, never mind, they can just keep making Venom movies.
Yeah, and people are probably gonna love them.
I don't know, I feel like kind of getting back to what I was saying was like... I don't know, is a movie where the villain is the main character interesting?
I think so, because it's always the villain's the antagonist, not the protagonist.
Right.
It's never the main character. Yeah, exactly.
Like, the protagonist has to overcome the villain, but if it's just the villain...
Yeah, so I think that's why, like, they're probably doing well, like, with Deadpool and stuff, is because, like, now they're making these villains more relatable, but also more about the villain. Right. You know what I mean? Not just like, oh, here he is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But it just depends, though, because, like, Deadpool falls more into the anti-hero category.
Right.
If it's just, like, a Joker movie about Joker doing bad things, like...
Yeah.
What, like, who do you root for? What do you...
True.
So if there was, like, just a Darth Vader movie, like... I know a lot of people want that, but I wouldn't really be interested in that.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I'd see it because they're taking my money anyway.
Yeah,
but yeah, is that it?
Yeah.
Are we finally done talking about Spider-Man?
Yeah, so yeah, let us know what you think of the Venom trailer.
Yeah, and then we'll let you know what we think when we see the movie.
Yeah.
What is that, September, October?
November, December? I don't know.
Next year, this
October or November, I think.
20 years from now.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. We have more podcasts coming out. Obviously, our YouTube channel is flush with videos. And then we have more of those coming out as well.
Yep.
Especially as we approach the holidays and September when the new Star Wars toys come out. Pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So once again, I'm Brooks.
I'm Joe.
And this is another episode of Cantina Reviews Barside Chats.